Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Hope you're having an awesome day. Anna Ren's gonna show you something cool today, so buckle up. um,
Before we get into how I built this, let's talk about why. Because when most people picture a voice assistant, they picture one thing: JARVIS. But in my case, my references weren't JARVIS. They were Dexter talking to his computer, Dizzi living inside Kenny's laptop in Beyblade. Companions that lived inside the machine, JARVIS existed in the comics, sure. But the version everyone's obsessed with got popularized much later in 2008. In the Iron Man movie, these were all fictional AI companions until now. Let's be honest, cloud AI assistants are incredible right now. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, they can reason, code, hold a conversation. But there's a catch nobody talks about. Every word you say goes to a server you don't control. Every question gets logged. Every conversation becomes data that might train the next model. You're renting intelligence, and the landlord keeps a copy of every conversation you've ever had. Then there's the cost, $20 a month, $200 if you want the good stuff, $2,000 if you're running it for a team, and those prices, they can change tomorrow. You have zero leverage. And the moment the internet drops, the moment their servers go down, the moment they sunset a product, gone. Your assistant just disappears. Cloud assistants are impressive, but they're not yours. You're a tenant, and tenants get evicted. So I thought, what if I could build one that actually belonged to me? Here's the thing, we already have everything we need. All the pieces exist. They're open source, they're free, they run on consumer hardware. The technology and the hardware have finally reached a point where this is possible. It's just a matter of assembling them. Whisper is the ears. OpenAI speech recognition model running locally through whisper.cpp, a C++ port that runs 2 to 10 times faster than the original Python version. On an M1 Mac, it transcribes in near real time. Ollama is the brain. It runs large language models on your hardware. Llama, Gwen, Mistral, whatever fits your machine. The key unlock was Ollama 0.8, which finally let you stream text and handle tool calls at the same time. Before that, you had to pick one or the other. Chatterbox is the voice. Built by Resemble AI. Open source, MIT licensed. 24,000 stars on GitHub. And here's the wild part, it beat 11 labs in blind listening tests. 64% of users preferred it. And it does zero-shot voice cloning. Give it a 30-second audio sample and it speaks in that voice. And wrapping it all together. Tori, a Rust-based desktop app framework. The entire app is under 15 megabytes. For comparison, an Electron app doing the same thing would be over 150. Every single piece is open source. Every single piece runs locally. No API keys, no subscriptions, no internet required after you download the models. The pieces were always there. They just needed someone to put them together. The first real engineering challenge was the streaming pipeline. This is the heart of the whole thing. The first attempt was a Python script. Record audio, send it to Whisper, and wait. Send the text to Ollama, wait again. Send the response to a TTS engine, still waiting. Play it back. The whole loop took 15 to 20 seconds. It felt like talking to someone on a satellite phone. The problem wasn't the individual pieces. They were all fast on their own. The problem was the architecture. Everything ran sequentially, finish one step, start the next. Like a relay race where every runner sits down and rests before passing the baton. The insight hit me about a week in. I didn't need to wait for the whole response. I needed to start speaking the moment the first sentence was ready. The old design had two separate paths. One for regular conversation, one for tool calls. And both were sequential. The LLM had to finish its entire response before TTS could even start. That meant 5, 10, sometimes 15 seconds of silence. A conversation killer. The fix? A unified streaming pipeline. One path. Everything flows through it. Here is how it works. Tokens arrive from Ollama one by one. A sentence splitter watches for boundaries, periods, question marks, exclamation points. The moment a complete sentence forms, it gets sent to Chatterbox for synthesis. While sentence 1 plays out loud, sentence 2 is already being synthesized, and the LLM is still generating sentence 3. The result? Time to first audio dropped from 15 seconds to 3 to 6 seconds. Whisper takes 1 to 3 seconds. Ollama gets the first token out in 2 to 500 milliseconds. About a second to hit the first sentence boundary. Chatterbox synthesizes in under a second. Add it up and you're hearing a response in 3 to 6 seconds. Comparable to cloud assistants. But everything is running on the machine. The second challenge was tool calling. I didn't want the assistant to just talk, I wanted it to do things. Take screenshots, Read my clipboard. Run shell commands. When the LLM decides it needs a tool, it emits a structured call. Take a screenshot. Read the clipboard. Fetch a web page. The Rust backend intercepts that call, executes it, feeds the result back, and the LLM continues its response. All within the same streaming pipeline. The tricky part is keeping the streaming pipeline alive during tool calls. The LLM pauses. The tool executes. The result feeds back. And then the LLM picks up right where it left off. Still streaming, still sending sentences to TTS as they form. No restart. No delay, one continuous flow. Third challenge, interruption. In a real conversation, you interrupt people all the time. You say wait, or actually, and the other person stops. Cloud assistants handle this because the server can just stop sending. But locally, you have got a streaming LLM, a TTS queue, and an audio player all running in parallel. You cannot just stop one of them. You have to stop all of them. Instantly. The solution is a cancellation token from Rust Tokyo library. A single token that propagates through the entire pipeline. When you press the hotkey, the token fires. Every process wakes up and shuts down. LLM stops generating. TDS queue flushes. Audio halts. Back to listening in under 100 milliseconds. It sounds like a small detail. But this is the difference between talking to a machine and talking to something that feels alive. A real companion can be interrupted. Last challenge, and honestly, the most annoying one. The transparent window. I wanted the assistant to feel like it lives on your desktop, not trapped in a window. Glass morphism, blurred backgrounds, translucent panels, the whole aesthetic. Tauri supports transparent windows. Set a flag? Done. Right? Wrong. On macOS, transparent Tauri windows have a history of breaking in production builds. The transparency works in dev mode but disappears after bundling. Focus changes cause rendering glitches. Minimize and maximize can throw off the web view dimensions entirely. There are open GitHub issues going back years. The fix required a specific combination of Tauri window config, CSS background settings at the HTML level, and some very careful handling of window events. Not glamorous engineering, but the kind that makes the difference between a prototype and a product. Okay, enough talking. Let me show you what this actually looks like in practice.
What's up?
Hey, Anirban. Nothing much. Just ready to help you out. What's on your mind?
Yeah, so I'm recording this for a YouTube video. Say hi to everyone.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having an awesome day. Anirban's gonna show you something cool today, so buckle up.
Okay, so I have a image from Wall Heaven in my downloads folder. Can you set that up as my wallpaper, please?
Sure, let me find that image in your downloads folder first. Found it. Wallhaven 42 XJPM 3840 x2160.png. Let me set that as your wallpaper now. Done. That Wallhaven image is now your desktop wallpaper. Looks like a 4K anime sky shot. Pretty nice choice.
Yeah, so thanks. It went perfectly.
Glad it worked out. Good luck with the video, Anirban. Catch you later.
No internet, no API calls, no data leaving the machine. Every word I said was transcribed locally by Whisper. Every thought was generated locally by Ollama. Every response was spoken locally by Chatterbox. The entire conversation happened between me and my laptop. Nobody else was listening. The voice assistant market is a $2.73 billion industry, projected to hit $14 billion by 2032, and almost all of it is cloud-based. Your voice goes up, gets processed on someone else's hardware, and comes back down. You're paying for the round trip. But in 2025, something quietly changed. Whisper got fast enough to transcribe in real time on a laptop. Ollama made running large language models locally trivial. Chatterbox gave us open source voice cloning that beats the paid services. Tauri gave us a way to build native desktop apps that are tiny and fast. All the pieces existed independently. Someone just had to put them together. And I want to be clear about this. I didn't invent anything. I assembled existing pieces, open source pieces that thousands of people contributed to. Whisper from OpenAI, Ollama from the Ollama team, Chatterbox from Resemble AI, Tory from the Tory community. The real heroes are the open source contributors who made each piece good enough that a single developer on a MacBook could wire them together into something that actually works. I didn't invent the engine, the wheels, or the chassis. I just assembled the car, and it drives. Tomorrow, if I'm on an island with no internet connection, I won't lose my companion. That's what local means. It doesn't mean technically runs offline. It means it's yours. It doesn't disappear when your Wi-Fi drops. It doesn't go away when a company changes pricing. It doesn't get worse because the server is overloaded. It's on your machine. It stays on your machine. Dizzi lived in Kenny's laptop. And now, there is one living in mine. Now, local isn't better than cloud at everything. Cloud models are bigger, smarter, and they handle edge cases that local models fumble. But here's the question. How much of what you do with an AI assistant actually needs the cloud? Summarize this. Draft a reply. What's on my screen? Run this command. 80% of daily AI interactions are simple enough that a local 7 billion parameter model handles them fine. So the real question isn't local or cloud. It's what percentage of your AI usage actually requires the cloud. And is that percentage worth sending every single conversation to someone else's server? I'd love to know what you think. Drop a comment. Are you running anything locally? Would you trust a local assistant for daily use? What's the one thing keeping you on the cloud? And if you want to see me build this from scratch, the streaming pipeline, the tool system, the transparent window, let me know. I might make that video next. I'll see you in the next one.